I'm so excited to have you here for this masterclass because I thought it's a good way to give back as well, specifically before the end of this year. I thought, why not to use everything I've learned over the year using the AI, specifically ChatGPT, and kind of reflect back on 2024 and also brainstorm the goals for 2025 with the power of ChatGPT. Because I know how overwhelming it is when we start the new year after the holiday break, right? The Christmas, and everyone just so busy. The mind is just so overwhelmed, and we don't know what to start with. What do we actually start with? How do we approach the goal setting for 2025? How do we ensure that we follow through as well, because the New Year's resolution often happen. We want to achieve so many things and we have so many nice plans on our to-do list, but they often fall through because we don't have the time and we don't spend the time to actually go back and look at our goals that we've set up initially and also break them down in small and achievable steps. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. Let me just introduce myself quickly. I'm Olga. I am the founder of Nadzen and Soul-led e-commerce agency. I started Nadzen as a skincare brand in 2018, and I've started Soul-led e-commerce about 1.5 years ago because I basically learned everything myself. I was always solopreneur. I was always running a business by myself. So everything regarding the email marketing, regarding the branding, regarding the website, this is all that I have learned and all my experience. And many people actually approached me and they've asked, Olga, why don't you share your knowledge? Because through so many years of learning, you can actually provide some value. So this is how an idea of the soul-led e-commerce was born. All right, let me just share my screen. And you start with amazing New Year picture, and hopefully you can see when I present. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? That's perfect. Let's go back. No, I think it's dialing in like straight away into the slideshow. So presentation, fantastic. Okay, so I also the mom of 2 boys, very active boys, and I also work full time. So my passion is to help the product-based business owners to save the time with the AI specific strategies so they can focus and spend the time on things that they really enjoy with their family or their hobbies or traveling. And I just want to empower them that the business should be fun, not like something that you have to do. So I'm focusing on this, teaching them on how to build the business from the power of their strength, focusing on something that they're really strong at, rather than doing the tasks that they don't really enjoy, because the business should be fun at the end of the day. So what we're going to be focusing on today is we're going to look at the reflection and why should we reflect on the previous year. We're also going to be looking at how to create your vision for 2025, how to set the goals and bridge between the dreaming and doing, and what do you want to leave behind that no longer serves you. We're also going to be gaining the clarity with the step-by-step action plan and everything through. This is what AI will help us. And we will define your word for 2020. All right. So let me just discuss on reflections and why they're important. As we're stepping into this break of winter and the winter time, everything seems to be like slowing down. We want to stop kind of doing and always be in this action mode. It's the natural rhythm of our bodies. It's the natural rhythm of our soul, because the winter is here for us to actually reflect and take in this time and actually slow down and understand what went well throughout the year. What were the biggest wins? What were the biggest challenges? What were the moments that made you feel proud, grateful, stressed, and happy? If you have the time, if you have few moments, how are we going to be doing these reflections? I suggest you to open ChatGPT straight away and start a new chat. If you have the ChatGPT, you can call it 2025 plan or 2025 goal setting. I have mine open as well. I'm going to share with you right now as an example. I've started a new chat here. The ChatGPT is a free tool. There is also an application on the phone that you can download. And basically, we are just going to start with our reflections. So let me just go back here. And we want to start writing down what were the biggest wins, what were you the most proud in 2024. And I know that this masterclass should be business related, but I want you to look at your life holistically and note down all the biggest wins for 2024. It could be something like you've traveled, you've explored new countries, you maybe changed the career, maybe you have met new friends, everything that comes to mind, but also the business wins, for example. If you run a successful sale or a promotion or a seasonal event, note all of this down. If you have got some orders, e-commerce orders, and you have very successful months of the year, one of the months, also write this down. The good thing that I'm doing every time I'm creating a marketing plan for something, I'm using the retrospective document, which allows me to then pull all this information from this. So say if I'm planning the Black Friday promotion or a Christmas promotion, and I'm using different marketing strategies and using email marketing, social media, I'm then running a retrospective at the end to analyze what really worked and what didn't work and what was the end result. So I would recommend, I know right now we don't have the time, but for all your upcoming launches, all your upcoming sales, to do the retrospective like this, so you can actually start with reflections on your business, how the year actually went. Which moments made you feel proud? So note this down, note all these questions down, stressed and happy. What would you change or leave behind? So I've prepared a little example here, for example, in ChatGPT. It's a very short example, but I would recommend to write as much as you possibly can to give the ChatGPT as much detail about you, your personality, and your goals, so it can provide you a very accurate answer. So don't be afraid to make mistakes and errors. It's automatically going to be fixed. So you're just doing directly everything here, and you're using this chat then to also, as your personal assistant later on, to check in with the progress. This is what I actually did also for Christmas planning, for Christmas gift planning. I've used the ChatGPT to create the Christmas plan, like all the Christmas plan, everything that I wanted to do over the holidays, and who do I need to buy the gifts for. And then I basically, every time I came back to this chat and I commented, I bought the gift, this gift for this gift for this. And it actually remembered everything in the memory, and it provided me with the new list, the people I need to buy for. And all the steps that I've achieved, like a small actions that I've taken, they were all reflected over there. So we can monitor our progress as we go along. So let me just give you an example of one of the reflections that I've set up. My biggest win means that I've changed my role in my full-time job and got my evening back with my kids because I was working during the US hours. I got 4 new members in my sole-led e-commerce mastery circle. I delivered 10 masterclasses workshops that helped me to build my personal brand, consistently created new social media content, and posted educational blogs as well on my website. In my nuts and skincare business, I successfully ran a Black Friday campaign that brought me in 20 orders, launched Facebook advertising for nuts, and started bringing in sales from the advertising. So I consider it a win. The challenges. What were my challenges? I had no time for Nadsen at all throughout the year, all due to my focus on expanding and growing my solid e-commerce consultancy agency. I also didn't finish the recording of the course that I planned to launch before the end of the year. It's a social selling academy, and I was always procrastinating on it. Let's be honest. I mean, we need to be all honest with our challenges and what we did and what we wanted to achieve and what we didn't achieve and what were the challenges. Maybe something that comes in life, like for example, during the winter time, 1 month from November, end of November to December, I was not really able to do anything because my kids were constantly sick. So I had to stay at home with them and also do a little bit of work from home. So I was not be able to focus on our business, on my business, right? So it could be things like that. What comes in a way? What were like the frustrations, the stress, etc., and what were like the lessons learned? So I've put an example. The lesson learned: nothing comes from an exhausted, tired human. I need to be fully rested and recharged in order to be able to move forward in my business. I need to prioritize my self-care and my family amongst anything else, right? So that was my learning, because I'm building my business to actually spend more time with my family, not to spend less time. So every time I get carried away or stressed out that I was not able to achieve much in my business, I always come back to the original vision, like why have I built my business? To spend more time with them, right? So then it comes back with an incredible reflection and planning. So it comes back with like a summary of the biggest wins. It comes back the summary of the challenges. It also comes back with like the lessons learned. And it also gives you an example of goals for 2026, right? What you want to focus on. More on that later. So I want you to leave the chat like this, read through it. I know. Yes, it's incredible. It's pretty incredible. So for example, time and energy. It gives me the first goal: time and energy. Establish a schedule that allows time for rest, family, and focused work without overexertion. Needs and growth. I've mentioned that Nazen was a challenge for me this year, right? So allocate specific hours weekly to develop campaigns and grow the business, right? Social Selling Academy, finish the recording, which we know, uninterrupted time schedule. This is all very high level. We're going to be focusing more on how to actually set the goals that matter, not just from these reflections, but it takes the goals from the reflections from your previous year as well, which is amazing. Then you can use something really interesting, and you can write a celebration story. So here are the fun and powerful things you can ask ChatGPT to do with your notes. You can summarize my biggest wins and challenges from 2024, which is kind of did. Then turn my reflections into the gratitudes list. So let's look at this. What it's going to come back with. And this is very nice always to do, because it always allows you to reflect on actually good things and things that happen good throughout the year. So it keeps you motivated to move forward rather than just giving up and, um, dropping everything. So basically, it's giving you the list of what are you grateful for. I'm grateful for the opportunity to redefine my role and align it with my desired lifestyle. I'm thankful for 4 incredible members who joined my solid e-commerce mastery circle, trusting me to guide them. So this is like incredible. It's already such a level of detail, and it just gives you such a boost to read that, right? Because always when we think about our year, and specifically now in the social media, we often see how difficult was the year and how people just barely survived and that they're looking forward to the end of the year, right? This content constantly comes up on my social media feeds. So this is a way to use the ChatGPT to really to bring some positivity into the reflections, to bring some joy and really notice really good things about the year, you know. Now, let me just start with back to the presentation. Then you can also use it to help to draft a letter to my future self based on my 2024 experience. It will come up with the letter, which is going to be amazing as well to read. you can also write a poem that represents your year. I've listed everything what you can do with it in the slides, which I'm going to be sending to you later after the masterclass. So you can always play around with these prompts, but it gives you like something really nice and positive to look forward to. So now creating your vision. So creating your vision for the next year. The vision can kind of be anything you imagine. And you might have heard about like the vision boards and putting everything and visualizing everything on the board and like doing like little snippets of what your ideal life might look like. But I want you to take another turn on it, and I want you to actually type out, what does your dream life looks like and business looks like in 2025? What you want it to be? What are you currently working on? How do you want your day to look like? You know, for example, for me, I want to work only 20 hours a week, and I want to use the systems in my business that are doing the actual background work for me, like automating most of my, activities or scheduling the activities. I want to also have the one-to-ones with my clients every single day, right? Because I really enjoy this. Who am I helping? How do I feel? What does success looks like for me? So these are the questions that you can ask yourself. Also type in the chat everything that comes up, everything. Don't hold back. And then you can ask the chat GPT to ask you a follow-up questions on your vision. And then this is where the magic happens. You can actually draft, you can use the following prompts and ask the ChatGPT to draft a day in life story set in 2025 based on your vision. And it will come up with an amazing story. Let me just share one with you, share the example with you. And this is what you can use to also for manifestation exercises. If you're familiar with the manifestation, it always asks you to visualize your ideal life and bring those emotions to life. So if you are journaling on manifestation, for example, and if you're reflecting back and thinking about your ideal life, this is the tool to use to reread your day in life story so you can see this ideal life, you can feel your ideal life, you can see your ideal business. Now, let me just go back here. I have another chat for Dream Life, which is pretty good. I think we all could do this type of work because that's so important. It just brings so much positivity and motivates us to achieve our goals. Like you can also create a list of inspiring affirmations for daily motivation. And I will ask ChatGPT to draft my 2025 story. And you can see the amazing amount of detail, because it just depends on your response, but it adds amazing amount of detail to your story that you can just read periodically. If you have time once a week, just read your story, it's just adds amazing detail as well to the story. Like the morning sun streams through my large windows of my dream home in Italy, feeling a minimalist nature-inspired space with warm light. The scent of fresh coffee and essential oils creates a calming atmosphere I begin my day with. So you can see that it kind of brings you on this journey. And when you read this story, it also fills you in with these emotions that are very important to attracting what you want. So you can, another way you can also use your vision to list an inspiring affirmation for daily motivation, because the affirmations are also important. So for example, if you are familiar with the practice of manifestation, you can ask ChatGPT to create a list of affirmations that you can repeat every single day. Every day I grow into the best version of myself. So it also splits it by different values that you have in your vision: personal growth, business success, work-life balance, which I've already mentioned, community and relationship, relationship, vision, and future goals. It will give you a list of this amazing affirmation that are personalized to you and your personality. Now, the next part would be, let's share again. I see the questions coming up. All right. I will keep the questions for later because we have quite a lot to get through. So now from dreams to action, building your 2025. So now as we reflected, we given and written out our vision. Now this ChatGPT has much more details to work with now. And this is where we can start identifying what to focus on for this year, for this new year. Getting lost. Yeah, perfect. So, of course, we know that dreams just don't happen. A manifestation works, but if we don't take any steps towards our dream, we're just going to stay where we are, right? But often, we as business owners, we get overwhelmed with the steps. We get often carried away with the shiny object syndrome and many new ideas that we want to implement in our business. So this is where the problems lie, because we have set up some goals initially in the beginning of the year. Then in 3 months, we see another idea that might be helpful for our business. We're moving towards, our focus is shifting towards implementing that. And then our goals are not accomplished because we have shifted our focus. So in order for us to keep our focus, we need to have a very clear goals that allow us then to also measure the success. So for example, you need to break your vision into clear, achievable goals, which we're going to ask the ChatGPT to create. So if you can write down a list of goals you want to achieve in 2025, what will make you feel proud, accomplished, successful, and happy? Include everything from revenue goals or product launches, if you want to launch a new product, if you want to create a website, if you want to bring 50,000 euros of income this year, if you want to increase your user base, or you want to grow your email list, these kind of goals, the business goals, but also the life goals. If you want to travel to 5 different countries this year, if you want to create new traditions with your family, maybe you want to spend, like I want to spend intentional time with my partner, for example, once a month, to dedicate this time to go somewhere for small trips, also my friends. So all of these things. And then the magic will happen when you list all of the things that you want to achieve, and you don't need to think about prioritizing them because the ChatGPT will actually do it for you. You can basically use the same chat thread and paste your list into ChatGPT and then explore these prompts. You can ask the ChatGPT to identify the top 5 impactful goals from your list, and it will do that. So even if your list contains 20 different items and you want to achieve 20 different things, we want to select the most impactful one to reduce the overwhelm. Because we are often overwhelmed. We want to, like drop 10 kilos, for example, in 3 months. We want to build our audience to 10,000 people. We want to bring in more revenue, etc. So all of these things, all of this mix in our head, let's drop it into the chat. And then we're going to ask the chat to identify 5 most impactful from the list. And then we're going to ask to break it, big goals into small actionable steps. This is where the real magic happens because it suggests you the way to reach your goals, step by step, stone by stone, to build your dream life, which is incredible. Let me show you how it works in practice. All right. Oops. Let's go back. So I already have this seasoned chat. But I'm going to ask the ChatGPT to give me the 3, 5 things, because I'm on my list, I have so many things. And I'm like, what do I focus on first? What do I focus on first? What do I prioritize right now? Is the rebrand really a good idea? Is the new website creation is really a good idea? Or I need to focus maybe on traffic building strategies and building my email list. So this is what we are going to do. We're going to ask it exactly what to prioritize. Now, so I have this season chat again, and I'm going to open this one, and I'm going to say, identify the top 3 impactful goals from your list. So it's going to give me only 3, 5 impactful goals. Of course, number 1, prioritize rest, self-care, and a family. Ensure that I'm well rested, recharged, and fully showing up for my business and personal life. Complete and launch the Social Selling Academy. Expand so that e-commerce mastery circle from 4 to 8 members. So it gives me a very specific numbers and realistic numbers as well to reach. And now I'm going to ask, break the big goals into small actionable steps. And let's see what's the result going to be. All right, so now it's taking each goal and it's giving you a week by week plan. This is mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing for everybody. It would be, because this is the stuff that gets us tripped over. This is the things that get us paralyzed. When we have the big goal, we want to reach it, like launching and recording a course. I know what I have to do. I know that I need to sit down and record it, but there are always multiple things on the way as well. So how I can actually make it happen day by day, right? So I take small steps, 2 modules per week, draft outlines, and prepare the slides or materials for each module. So it's already less overwhelming, because from the big goal, you have an exact task on what you need to do. Like, how do I expand my membership, for example? It could be also, how do you sell more products, right? And it gives you weekly plan, it gives you monthly plan, it gives you quarterly plan as well. And how to grow the skincare business, what you need to do, focus on the advertising, post consistently on social media, of course, develop and run promotional campaigns, and what you can do quarterly as well. Right now, it's not as detailed here because, again, I didn't add so much detail, but imagine how much detail it's going to be providing you once you have the entry complete and very detailed. It's going to give you a very good actionable steps, like what exactly you can do after your reflections. Now, let's go back. Then you can also brainstorm the creative ways to stay motivated, right? Because we have already listed some ways that what made us procrastinate, for example, why we didn't take any actions. What were our challenges. So it's going to give you some creative ways to also stay motivated to achieve your goals, and then generate motivational quotes so you can play around with these prompts and see the result. Now, the next one. Uncover and overcome moving beyond the barriers. So we know that achieving the goals is, listing the goals is only small part of what we need to do in order to have the successful year. Having the goals in our mind is only the small part. What we need to actually do is we need to understand what is keeping us stuck from reaching certain things. So what is this kind of persistent voice that is whispering? So when you look at your goals that ChatGPT give you right now, what is kind of emotions you're feeling inside yourself? Like, are you feeling fear? Are you feeling that maybe you're not good enough? Like, who would want this product? Who would want this service? Who would want to listen to me? I am not ready yet. I have other responsibilities. I don't have any time. So these are the things that we want to really uncover here, and we want to give it as well and record it in the chat, because then it's going to give us the how to move, the suggestions how to move beyond the spheres to reach those goals. So pause and reflect on what are kind of internal conversations that you're having with yourself when it comes to getting out of the comfort zone in your business. What are these conversations or emotions that come up when you want to create something new or maybe launch something new in your business? How do you feel? Like a product, for example, a lot of product-based entrepreneurs are facing the fears that their product will not be liked, or that the people will not find it helpful. So all of these things, like, really think about deeply and add it to the chat. What emotions arise when you consider your 2025 goals again? When you look at the list of goals, do you think that it's realistic? That the something inside is causing you to doubt yourself? So this is what we want to unleash here, because we want to move beyond those fears. We want to move beyond those internal dialogue. So then we can ask ChatGPT to explore this area. So you can suggest the strategies to overcome the challenges in 2025. You can identify new habits that will help you to break free from limiting patterns that you just listed. You can also reframe the doubts into empowering beliefs and transform the past challenges into lessons for 2025. You can also create a personalized affirmation to counteract fears. So I want you to explore each of these options, because even the most successful people will have some doubts. Even the most, like, millionaires, billionaires, they have some doubts about them, about their business, about what they are doing every single day. There is an imposter syndrome every single day. And even sometimes they are unsure on what they are doing is the right thing. But at the end of the day, they still keep taking those small actions. And this is what matters, right? Um, when we want to achieve our dream life and our dream business. Step-by-step action plan. So this is where we get into very nitty-gritty of each step. So once you break down your goals into clear and manageable steps in the chat GPT, you're going to, you utilize this chat. It's going to give you a new list. You want to know exactly what to work on every single day or week, or what would your structure to the week look like. For example, my week is very limited in terms of time. How can I add more time to it? What are the 3 hours I have during my week to actually focus on achieving my goals? So consider these questions for each of the goals. So you've taken your top 3 goals, like, let's focus on the top 3 for now, and you write down, what are the first 3 small steps to make progress? You can brainstorm with the ChatGPT. You write down your goal number 1. What are the first small steps to make progress? What simple accomplishment in the next 3 months will bring you closer to your goal? When can I dedicate the time to your daily goals? What major responsibility must fit around my business activities? For example, 9 to 5 job, school runs, bedtime routines. So now I'm going to do that as an example in the ChatGPT itself. And I'm going to take one goal, complete and launch Social Selling Academy course, right? That would be one of them. And I'm going to ask the ChatGPT the following questions. What are the the first 3 small steps to make progress on this goal. And then I'm going to give him as well. I'm kind of having a two-way conversations with him, giving him some information as well. So for example, I only have, so what are major responsibilities? So you can give, I also have like a 9 to 5 job, school, pickups, drop-offs, Monday to Friday, for example. And then it's going to give you an adjusted plan as well. So if you give him your schedule, it gives you the adjusted plan with exact activity. Spend 10-20 minutes a day during a lunch break or after kids' bedtime, jotting down the ideas for the models and lessons. Focus on one model per session to keep it manageable. Schedule micro recording sessions, for example, early morning or late evening. Start with the shorter sessions or intros to ease into the process. Use simple tools, webcam or phone to make it less overwhelming. And then it gives you example of a weekly time plan as well. Quick brainstorm, organize notes, spend 20 minutes, and then that's it. You have a step-by-step, clear plan based on your schedule. So you don't feel overwhelmed anymore. All you have to do is take those small actions every single day in order to move forward and achieve your goals. So that's it for this masterclass. It was so nice having you here, and I hope it was helpful for you as well as it was helpful for me. So how do I then use this, all this information and all this chat? I actually use it as my personal assistant. So every time I make a progress, I can ask, can you please recap? Can you please recap what was done for this and this goal? So if I have the 3 goals, I would say I have recorded model 1 and model 2, for example, for Social Selling Academy. And then it will give me a new summary with the new plan, what is the remaining to be done. So you can always come back to the chat and you can also monitor your progress and celebrate your wins. And you can always utilize this type of prompts, for example, summarize my biggest wins for the 2025. So you can write yourself, turn my wins into a confidence boosting pep talk for 2025. So don't forget to also celebrate your achievements. You can use this chat when you make progress on your goals, suggested goals, to celebrate your achievements as well, which is pretty incredible. All right, so now we're gonna end for today. I just wanted to share with you as a thank you for joining our webinar. I'm offering a free analysis session just for you. In this session, I'll ask you a few questions about your business. It's a business analysis session and provide tailored few recommendations to enhance your online presence and boost your sales. So I will be sending you the link to book the session in the chat as well, and also via email with the follow-up and the slides and the recording as well, if you were not able to attend. Thank you so much. It was really pleasure to having you here. And I will open the floor for questions.